The home of the common Joe and the common Sally in the know, even more so than all those media talking heads. Tell you what, you really learn who people are when you have a little adversity, like in college football. When you have a few games where you lose a couple of games in a transition year, you find out who your real fans are. You find out who's really behind you. Good case in point, Trevor Knight just come out, running his little mealy mouth like he always does. He's always trash talking, thinks he's cool. And the bad thing about someone like Trevor Knight is they just spill hypocrisy all over themselves. I mean, it's like a big old cup that they miss their lip and then shit just goes everywhere. That's Trevor Knight, Mr. Hypocrisy. Gonna get in here and talk about how Brent Venables is not the man and how Oklahoma's done. Well, that sounds about par for course for you, Trevor, because didn't you quit on the Sooners once before? Didn't you run down there to that cult in Aggie Land where the all-male cheerleaders are running wild and frantic? I think you did. Let's talk about it. Well, here we are once again. It's a grilling session. I ain't had a grilling session in a while. No. Tebow hasn't wet his diaper or anything and said anything stupid here lately. This time it's actually a former Sooner turned Aggie, Colt man. Oh, Trevor Knight. Let's throw him on the grill. That's right. It's time to grill that ass, Trevor. You in here running your little mealy mouth, being a big ass hypocrite. And I wouldn't even known about it really. I mean, I'd heard about it, but I hadn't really seen the article until one of those common Joes and Sallys in the know linked it to me. That being Miss Teresa West Sherwood Moser, the woman with 1,000 names, has brought me a topic that I could talk about 1,000 times over. But before we get to all this, I'd like to say that I am OCF. That's the Outlaw of College Football, also known as JPC. That stands for Jesse Paul Clark, spelled Jesse without the I. Now, getting right to it. Like I said in the lead up, man, you find out who people really are in times of adversity. When teams lose a few games, you find out what people are all about. And Mr. Trevor Knight, I've seen him in the past. He said a few things. And, oh, yeah, he did beat Alabama in that Sugar Bowl. That was his one fleeting moment. Just like Stephen Garcia at South Carolina. But where's he at now? And now Trevor just goes around talking on talk shows and living off that one fleeting moment of fame. Going around calling people out. Talking about how bad they are and how Brent Venables is just not the man most likely for Oklahoma. Talking about how bad he is. And how this is what should happen for Oklahoma and how he knows what's best for Oklahoma. Like he was some great star at Oklahoma. He won one important game, Trevor. Matter of fact, I got a few stats right here on old Trevor. Since he's supposed to be so great and full of grandeur and knows what's best, he's the all-seeing football god. Let's see what we got here for old Trevor. When he was at Oklahoma, his best year was 2014, 56.6%. That almost choked me up, man. That's barely over 50%, man. If that was on a report card at school, that'd be an F, Trevor. 2,300 yards. That's paltry, man. Hell, a quarterback at Slippery Rock could throw for that much. 12 interceptions to 14 touchdowns. Hell, you almost threw more interceptions than touchdowns, son. Then, while at A&M, you think it would get better, right? Not really. 53.3% passing. And this guy's out here calling people out, man. He can barely get over 50%. Passing the ball down the field, man. 2,432 yards, 7 interceptions. He has a career of 26 interceptions, man. Damn. And you going to come in here and expect us to think you're some kind of authority, that we should respect your opinion upon Brent Venables, who's only had 5 games? He took over a program that was, 11-2 last year, but that's a little misleading considering that shady-ass Lincoln Riley was recruiting for Southern Cal while he was employed by Oklahoma, and then gutted Oklahoma for some of their best players. No other coach, first-year coach, first time ever, has had to come in and deal with that kind of situation. I think it's fair to say that that's a pretty astronomically hard situation to come into, and he still finished in the top 10 recruiting, and now he's got a top 5 class going on. So I think you need to pump the brakes here a little bit, man. That's what that's like, man. And here's what you need to do, Trevor, going forward. You need to be a good fan, man. Be a good former player. Show some spine. Support your team right now when it's still early on, man. Show some spine and find some positivity instead of trying to sell out and dip out after 5 games. You probably won't be able to, because what you're doing is par for course. You run and hid and run and hid tail and went down there and played for the Colt in College Station when the going got tough for you here at Oklahoma. So yeah, you probably won't heed this because you just don't have no spine, man. Show some spine, man. Support your former team, man. Now, if down the road he loses 7 or 8 games, and maybe 9 games or something like that, then yeah, get mad. Even at Oklahoma first year, you should win. You shouldn't be losing 7 or 8 ball games. If he pulls a John Blake, then yeah, say something. But right now, it's just 5 games in, man. Show some gratitude, man, for your former school that put you on the map. That's all I got to say about that. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And as always, KMCA to all the other teams. Class is now officially dismissed.